Hello everybody. Today I'm going to teach you unreal past conditional. So unreal past conditional is a part of sentences with if, i.e. if clause. All right. So we use the past conditional to talk about unreal situations in the past, to imagine how the past could have been different. Unreal situation, it means something happened in the past. Now it's too late, or in the past it was too late to change anything. That's why you imagine how the past could have been different. Now, the past conditional is sometimes called the third conditional, and we often use it to talk about how events or situations in the past were different from what actually happened. As I mentioned above, so something happened. Now you are thinking about it, or you are remembering it, and you are imagining how it could have been different. Now let's go to examples. If he had seen the car coming, he would have moved out of the way. It means that he didn't see the car coming, so he didn't move, and there was an accident. All right, next exercise. Next sentence. Would you have left so early if you had known their flight was delayed? So the question, this is a question. So would is at the beginning of the sentence. And in fact, you didn't know about the delay, so you left too early and you had to wait for some time. And next sentence, if I had been born in the 1800s, I wouldn't have learned to read and write. So here the speaker says that if he had been born in 1800s, he wouldn't have learned how to read or write. So he wasn't born in the 1800s, so he learned to read and write. Okay, now let's continue to next slide. We form the past conditional with if plus past perfect plus would have plus past participle. We can also use the modal verbs might, could instead of would. So the structure of past conditional, i.e. or third conditional, is that we use if at the beginning of the sentence. After if, we use past perfect tense. You can use past perfect continuous or past perfect simple. And after if clause, you use would, have plus past participle. And instead of would, you can use might or could. Now here in this table, you can see sentences made in unreal past conditional. So at the beginning of the sentence, you use if. After if, you use past perfect. And then in result clause, you use would have, and then you use past participle. All right, examples. If he'd told me earlier, I would have had more time to prepare. But he didn't tell me earlier, so I didn't have enough time to prepare. Next. If she had been honest, they'd have given her the job. But she wasn't honest, and that's why they didn't give her the job. Next sentence. If you hadn't run so fast, you wouldn't have caught the train. So maybe you were late for the train and you ran fast and you could catch the train. If the bus had hit the lorry, you could have been seriously injured. But the bus didn't hit the lorry, That's why you were not seriously injured. We use contractions would, would, and have in both informal writing and speaking. It says informal writing and speaking, so be careful. You cannot use that in formal writing or speaking. Next slide. The if clause can go before and after the result clause. So when the if clause goes first, it is followed by a comma. For example, if I had known we were going swimming, I'd have brought my costume. So I didn't know, it means I didn't know we were going to the swimming and I didn't bring my costume, and the sentence starts with if clause. That's why there is comma after if clause. And when you start with would clause, you don't write comma. So I'd have brought my costume if I had known we were going swimming. So there is no comma. Do you think the police would have caught him if the car hadn't crashed? So no comma. If the car hadn't crashed, comma, do you think the police would have caught him? So here you can see that at the beginning, so if we use if, we use comma after if clause. If we start our sentence with result clause, we don't use comma after that. I think it's clear. Now let's jump to exercises. In these exercises, in this exercise, you should join the ideas in the sentences to make unreal past conditional sentences. So in each sentence, you have two sentences. They are real sentences, like real, not imaginary situations. You should join them and make unreal past conditional. You have some time to do it. Now you have finished doing this exercise. Now you can check it, take your time, and if you have mistakes, work on your mistakes. If you have questions, you can ask me